We're going to start.
The
Welcome,
P.
everyone. Happy Monday. Thanks for coming on here tonight. I have a couple things to share with you, and then we will dive into our Zoom here. April 16th is our monthly Plexus Slim 7-day challenge. Who has been inviting people? Not do you have challengers, but actually who has been inviting people? Have you been actively saying, hey, to your friend or to your sister, to whomever, or the new person you just met on Facebook? Say, hey, you know what? I'm looking for a taste tester. Taste my Plexus Slim, my main go-to supplement for 7 days. Do you want to give this a try for 7 days? Who has been inviting? Yes. Oh, you have 6 challengers, Erin? I just lost you. I saw you for a second. Hold on. I'm opening the chat there. I have, very nice, guys. I have also been inviting, and and I'm very excited for myself personally, because the last couple months have been a little bit slower for me. So with challengers, so I have quite a few hopping into this month's challenge, and I am super, super excited for them. Guys, that's so exciting. I'm so excited for you all. Okay, those 7-day challenges are amazing. They have been such a blessing and such a huge support. Oh, Esther, that's awesome. They have been such a huge support, I think, for our businesses, for our people who want to know more, especially for the people who want to know more, because it's one of those places where they get the whole gist of what Plexus is in 1 week, and it's not overwhelming. It's just a great place where they can learn at their leisure. And they get to really get a taste of what our community and support is like. And I love that. So anyways, yes, next Monday we are starting. So if you haven't been inviting or you're not familiar with what the Plexus Slim 7-day challenge is, reach out to your sponsor who sponsored you in, ask them about it, ask them how you can invite people and what it is all about. One thing I want to mention really quick, and then I'm going to let Janelle Johnson take over. But I got off a really powerful phone call about an hour and a half ago. And I was talking with pretty much a new friend that I've met. I've been joining different groups on Facebook over the last month or two, well, a few months, but more specifically, a few different newer groups for me that are very entrepreneur, leadership, big thinking, pursuing passions minded, if you can kind of get all that in one group. A lot of these groups that I'm in are just have been such a blessing to me personally on a personal basis, with just as I'm pursuing my own business and meeting other similar minded women who are pursuing something similar or looking for some change. And so I got off a phone call this evening with somebody who God pretty much orchestrated our lives to meet through Facebook, through one of the groups that I'm in. And she was such a big blessing to me. I called her. We had a call set up. She wanted to know more about just what business I'm doing, because she's looking for something. And she wanted to know more about what the 7-day challenge was. And so we were talking, we got to know each other, and she's just an amazing new friend that I have now. And all I'm saying is, get yourself out there. If you're not joining at least one new group a month, groups that you can really relate to, groups that you can get involved in on Facebook, I'm talking about more specifically. Groups that you can be encouraged by, not groups that are catty or that are backbiting or that are judgmental or anything like that, but groups that you can be a part of and that you can be an encouragement and be encouraged, because you don't know what God has in store, the people that you're going to meet in those groups. It's just been such a big blessing for me as I've gotten to know people in these groups. Okay, so right now, I asked Janelle Johnson, our Senior Ruby Ambassador, to come on tonight and share with us her journey to Senior Ruby and some of her important tips and advice on what she feels and has seen by her own personal experience, what has been the most important things to do in this business, or what have been important things that she implements to be successful, to get where she is at. So I am going to let you take it away, Janelle, to share what's on your heart.
Hey everybody, thanks for coming on tonight. I'm so encouraged as I was scrolling through to see all of you who made it on. So thanks for making this a priority tonight. I was thinking back this afternoon to how I actually met Melody. And I actually met her husband. I think he was in high school, and he and his family moved to the church that I was attending in North Minneapolis, and I was a foster mom at the time. And I think I remember Adam and his sisters watching my boys one time. So I was just to think of that connection. Then he went away to college. I met Jason and got married, and then we started fostering again in Minneapolis, and then Melody and her husband would hang out with us all the time and make cookies. They helped us build a fence to keep the kids in. And when our hands were so full, I remember Melody would come and help me fold laundry, and we just loved hanging out. That was
at
the
midnight.
Dream.
At midnight. Yeah. We had to get up at 6 a.m. at midnight.
Yeah. And so it's so fun to reconnect this way through Plexus. And then I saw you, Melody, for the first time in, 4 or 5 years. And so I'm just thankful for Plexus and how I've been able to reconnect with so many of my college friends and high school friends and make new friends. And because of Plexus, I just am thankful for the circle of encouragement I have around me daily from people who are like-minded. And so that's really encouraging. So I don't have great, huge nuggets of wisdom for you all tonight, but probably the biggest thing that I want to drive home is don't quit. Sometimes this business takes us a long time to get somewhere. Sometimes we see sprints where we're making great progress, but ride the ups and downs and don't quit. Just believe in the business, just starting with one rank at a time. I joined Plexus not for the business at all. I was actually very opposed to the business because I thought it was just a pyramid scheme. Have you ever heard that before from anyone you've ever talked to? I don't do pyramid schemes, but so someone just joined our party in here, so I got distracted. But I was not interested in selling anything. I wanted to be passionate about Jesus and adoption and foster care. I have a little and my children, and I just didn't really want to be posting about Plexus on my wall. But I joined for the products. I needed the products, and they were a huge benefit to my health and for my family as well. And so, like many of you, we joined for the products, but then we want to get our products paid for so we can stay on it long term. And so 6 months, this is actually my anniversary month. It will be 3 years at the end of the month that I joined Plexus. So when I first joined, I waited 6 whole months before I would ever say a word. And I wrote my post about 10 times. I had my husband read it over. I had Melody read it over. And then I finally pushed the button and I pushed post. Hey, you see all these ladies? That's who I'm talking to right now. And men. Sorry about that. Chris and Jason. Oh, geez. Oh, boy. All right. So anyway, I was very nervous to start posting about Plexus. So I can relate with all those feelings of fear, fear of rejection. I was having some chats with some of you today about someone was unfriended by someone. And I've definitely experienced that, and it is a bummer. But if we have a goal in sight, and if we have a reason for why we are working this business, then as I tell my children,
drink your Slim every day.
drink your Slim every day, he says. Just let it roll off of you. Don't let it knock you out. Just let it roll off you and just keep your eye on the prize and keep going. And so starting off, I'll just tell you my journey. A year after I joined on I think it was my year anniversary or the month before, I went gold. And it took me a whole nother year to go senior gold. And then about 5 months to go ruby, and then 7 months to go senior ruby. And we've had spurts of momentum, and we've had slower spurts, but if I could just encourage you, I think that gold is the very hardest rank to reach. And so that's 20 people, and that is very doable. So push hard and get to gold. If you can get to gold, you can become a diamond. And as you go, be inspiring your friends to do this along with you. If you feel like you can't inspire them, introduce them to somebody else who can, and just keep moving forward. Also, when I first joined, I had some people who I really cared about what they thought of me. And those people thought I was silly for doing plexus. And that was hard on me. And I think it was holding me back. And so take a minute and think who might be in your life who you love or is a big influencer in your life, and maybe they're being critical of your plexus business. Don't allow their thoughts to stop you from doing what you believe is best for you and your family. I am so thankful that God knew what was best for my family before I did, and He gave me a rundown body that I needed plexus, and then I needed help because He knew that we would need the income someday. And God has led my husband and I to adopt 5 children, and then we have 2 biological kids, and our children are incredible. But we had a season where we needed all hands on deck, and we still do. But we hit a pretty rough patch, and Jason had been a pastor since we had been married, even before we were married, and he resigned to be home a lot more with our family. And God's been so good to care for us and meet all of our needs, and now we're able to support our whole family, all of our expenses with my income and his income. And I'm just so grateful that God brought this business to us. And I can't help but think that there are so many other families out there that need this business as bad as we did. And maybe you don't need that business, but maybe your best friend does, or maybe your neighbor does, or maybe that college friend does. I mean, maybe you have something pretty unique and pretty awesome to offer. So I do want to just encourage you to believe in the business model. Plexus is debt-free and it has the most amazing compensation plan. Anybody can earn really great money by some effort and some consistency without a financial, you know how most MLMs you have to pay like a lot to join, and you have to pay a lot monthly to stay active, and Plexus isn't like that. And so I just think that Plexus is so unique. And so believe in the company, and of course believe in the products. I think those were just huge for me. Like if I could believe in those 2 things, I can go full speed ahead in this business. Every day, do something. Sometimes we might have a really crazy day and we can barely fit in our IPA, but do your best to keep a presence on Facebook. Maybe post something exciting, but don't rant on Facebook. But it's okay to share silly little mishaps, or but keep your Facebook exciting, and take your Plexus posts and just kind of space them in. And what I've seen to be successful for posting about Plexus is just posting from your heart, posting your own experiences or things that you've seen. Those are the things that watch videos. YouTube is full of training videos, and there's videos all over our team pages to watch. I'm seeing a trend that the people who join my team and they want the business, they just start digging through YouTube and the team pages, and they're learning for themselves, and they are building their business, and they're doing really well. So just be self-motivated and a self-learner. I mean, I will definitely support you as good as I can, but you will be successful if you're self-motivated. When I was in college, I played volleyball, and my coach would say all the time, make the ball better. So like if one of us would shank a ball, the teammate would try to dig it up and make it better. And I think that phrase all the time as I'm working my business and I feel a little frustrated that I'm not meeting my goal, but I can still make it better than it was the day before, and just continually trying to grow my business and making my points better each month. I want to encourage you to go to as many events as you can. That's when it's really exciting. You get to see as many people, you get to see successful people, and people, yes, downstairs. People are ranking up all the time. This isn't something that only the people at the very top can hit the very top. We can all be diamonds. And when I first joined and I heard somebody give that speech, I was like, yeah, right. I remember thinking, yeah, right. But now I know that it's possible, because each rank is attainable, and each rank is a little more of a stretch, but you can make it all the way to diamond. Every one of you can do it. And so, yes. So another tip would be get to know your team, because they're going to be your buddies for life, because this is a legacy company and we're going to be doing this, and we're going to be training in our grandchildren to do this. And so get to know your team. And let's see. A lot of this, I wrote a lot of notes and I covered them all because I've been rambling long enough. Okay, so here's a tip. Recruit people who are smarter than you. I did that. My team is so smart. So recruit people who are smarter than you and better than you. And I would say that's like a huge part of my success is I've been just recruiting really great business builders. You guys are incredible. So keep doing what you're doing. So yeah, I guess I covered all my notes already. Oh, I want to talk to you really quick before I finish about setting goals. So you hear all the time about having a why in Plexus. And I remember thinking, oh, my first why was actually to get my products paid for. That's why I shared Plexus. And then it was to buy a sectional for our family. I thought it was pretty cool to have a really nice piece of furniture. But as my business grew, my why got bigger. And so when you get some criticism, or maybe you're not motivated to work your business every day, make yourself a list of things that you dream of attaining someday. When I become a diamond, I will continue to shop at thrift stores and I will keep using my coupons. Those things won't change. I'm still going to be frugal, but I really look forward to ministry. I look forward to, I dream about building or helping fund wells in Africa. Our family has been supporting a little girl in Ethiopia, and we would love to support a lot more, just to try to keep the kids living with their biological families there. Our family is looking forward to saving up for a new van. We have an old clunker of a 12-passenger right now, and we're looking forward. Preston and I watch videos about conversion vans on a regular basis. And I dream of taking my kids on a trip I dream of maybe not only Disney World, but I want to just take them to see the beach. I want to take them to see things. And when you have a large, crazy family, it's just really difficult to travel. So that's one of my dreams. I dream of, being an empty nester. I dream about that a lot. Probably too much. No, I should be afraid of that. But I dream of being in ministry again with my husband and just being able to work and pastor a church without needing a salary, or visiting missionaries. I've never traveled. I've been to Puerto Rico and I've been to Mexico, but other than that, I've never traveled. And my brother is in seminary. He was my foster son before I met Jason, and I would love to pay for his tuition. Like, those are just some of the things that I dream about. I really want to bless others with resources. I think back to when Jason and I, most of you probably don't know our adoption story, but we lost our children for about a year because they moved them out of state, and then we got them back. And I was pregnant, and we had Amos. He was just 3 months old. And somebody brought us a freezer, a deep freezer, and they brought in boxes of frozen food from Costco, and they hauled it to our basement and filled it up. And so I just think that'd be so much fun to do for someone someday. So those are some of I don't have an official dream board, but I dream a lot. So I want to just encourage you to have goals. Because if you don't have goals, then you probably won't go anywhere. So anyway, thank you. Thanks for listening.
Thank you, Janelle. You covered so much good stuff, pretty much all the things that we talk about often, but you've just reiterated that, and the things that you've seen to be important that have helped you. One thing I want to mention is that when Janelle joined with me, I did not actually reach out to her because I was scared to reach out to her. So I avoided her when it came to plexus because she was one of those people in the group in my mind that intimidated me. So I was like, no, I don't want to reach out to her. She probably won't want it anyways. So don't assume things, number one. And number two, I was consistently posting. This is back between 2014 and 2015. Janelle joined in the spring of 2015. And so she had been quietly, silently watching my posts. And that is what she told me. And some of the health testimonies I had been sharing from just other people on Facebook is what caught her attention and intrigued her to give this a try, help for her health, number one. And so that goes back to just showing, it's an example of being consistent, even when you don't feel like messaging anybody, even when you're having a really bad day. At the very least, copy and paste someone's health testimony and throw it up on your wall, because people are watching and you have no idea who the next person that's going to join your team, whether they're going to choose to run in this thing or not. And it's totally fine. That's their call. They have the free will to do what they want to do with this business. That's the beauty of it. And when Janelle, so this is kind of what happened. Janelle messaged me in the morning. I woke up to her message. And so I don't remember what happened exactly, but I gave her my link and she joined. And she specifically told me that she was not going to do the business and she was not going to be posting Plexus on her profile because Jason didn't want her to. And I said, okay, I won't talk to you about it. And so this again goes to show you that when people come into your team and they're like, don't talk to me, or they tell you, I am not working this business, so like, we're not doing this, I'm not doing the business, just nod and say okay and smile and let them experience the team culture. Let them experience their products for a time. Plug them into things. Keep them plugged in, like into events and things that are going on, because, those things will interest them to an extent, and watch and see what happens. Because some of those people that have told me no, other of the leaders on our team who have told me no in the past, that they were not going to work this business. And now they have been for the last 2 to 3 years. So you don't know what some people's minds can change all the time. And that's why it's our job to be consistent in our efforts. And Janelle said that. Consistency and putting in your effort every day, whether it's a super busy day and you don't have time to necessarily, or it's hard to make time to sit down and really focus in on some, good messaging and reaching out to people, whether it's just throwing up a couple posts saying, okay, well, at least I got a post up there. At least I'm making a few connections on Facebook, whether it's saying happy birthday to somebody like Janelle said in her live video she did on our team page a couple days ago. You talked about saying happy birthday to people and connecting with them that way and using that as part of your IPA. It's really all just about building relationships, people building stronger connections and being a friend. And when you are a true, genuine friend to somebody, you can easily, more naturally talk about Plexus, offer them value, say, hey, would you be interested in trying this? What's the worst they're going to say is no. But that doesn't mean no forever either, right? As we've all experienced. Janet, you had a question. How many times do you message someone, they say that they're interested but don't do anything? I'm assuming, Janet, that you're asking that of Janelle. Janelle, do you want to answer that question? Do you see the...
If somebody tells me no, and I'm just going to keep being their friend, and I'm not going to pursue them about Plexus. I think that I try to build relationships first with people, and just usually they might watch me and come around if they're interested. I mean, they know where to find me. So.
Yeah, I do pretty much the same thing. There are certain people that I have relationships with where they've told me no a couple times, and there's just something inside me that says, I know this would be so good for them. And I know that I'm sorry. What just happened there? And I know this would be so good for them. And I know that they're following me. They're liking some of my posts. And, it doesn't hurt for me to ask them again. Say, hey, I know you said no before. Has something changed? Are you interested? And oftentimes they're like, no, I just love your posts. I'm just following you. Okay, great. Thank you. I appreciate that. And that's okay. I have gone back to certain people that have told me no. And like Janelle, I just keep that channel of friendship open and comment on their posts as best I can and build relationships. And usually I don't have anybody message me out of the blue wanting to know more information. Usually I have to reach out to them. So, oh, Janet, yes, sorry, I'm just reading your message. Yes, it's just really, for me, I've had to learn just to be very genuine because I struggled in the beginning a lot with being annoying and salesy and immature. And it just comes down to saying, hey, I know you said no, but you've been liking some of my posts, so I'm just wondering if you've sort of changed your mind. If not, that's fine. And that's it. Janelle was right about self-training. When somebody joins our team, we want to make sure that we plug them into things and get them connected with their upline. But ultimately, it is their business. And what we have some great resources. And so if we can encourage them, say, hey, go dig around in team wellness. Go look on YouTube. Here's some suggestions on videos to look for. Give them places they can go to learn more about Plexus. That's going to build their belief. And when their belief is building, they're going to have people's names running through their mind saying, okay, I can reach out to my aunt who has da-da-da-da. Oh, one of my best friends is struggling with this. I'm going to mention it to them and see if they want to do something, try something. So when somebody's digging into the resources that we have available to them, that's going to build their belief. And that's another reason why we want to plug our newer ambassadors into live events, into the 7-day challenge, so that they can learn while they're taking their products and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so we have a few minutes left. Janelle, did you want to say anything else?
I do. Erin Cates, I was reminded of this week. She was stumbling through YouTube, getting ideas, And I love what she did. She has 6 challengers already, and this is why. She started sending out messages to friends and said, if I sent you some information about Plexus, would you watch it? Like if I sent you a video. And so a lot of times people will say, sure, because that's not threatening to receive a video or some information. And so she asked for their permission, and she sent them a YouTube video that she had selected. And so a lot of times people will be open to hearing more information, but they don't want you to just approach them about, would you like to buy Slim from me? But they'll say, sure, I'll look at it. And I feel like if most people would take the time to see what Plexus actually is, then they're going to want it. They're going to have some need for it. Did I break up there, or did you get it all? You okay? So
I think we got it all.
Erin, and keep up the great work.
Erin, would you mind actually unmuting yourself and sharing what you say in your message to somebody who you've never reached out to about Plexus? Just saying, here, I can unmute you too. Or you can do it. Go ahead.
Sorry, I was just going, unmute the TV. My husband's watching TV. I'm like, mute the TV. I watched a video by Corey. I can't remember her last name, and she was just challenging you to just send out some messages and just say,
I think it was Cody Helmer.
Cody, yes. And so she was just saying, just send out some messages and just ask for like some information, and then just make it short information. If they have questions, they'll contact you. So I sent out 23 messages in 2 days, and I did get some no's, but even those no's created opportunities just to talk and chat and connect with those people. So even those were really great. And then I can't remember how many yeses I got now, like 9 or 10. And then from those, I sent the information, and some of them replied back and they wanted even more information. They joined the challenge, and others didn't reply back. So then I just invited them to the challenge. And so anyway, I have 6 so far for the challenge, and I'm still kind of working through my list a little bit more, and so we'll see. But those all came from, those weren't just cold, I had posted a couple posts that were more personal, and those just got a lot of likes. And so I went to those likes and just said, hey, thank you for liking my post. It encourages me when people support me in this, and I really appreciate it. And then just said, can I send you some information? So that's all I did.
I love that. Oh, goodness. That's so encouraging. And yes, Esther, yes, good follow-up on the likes. Yes. So when you see that there are people liking and loving your posts who are not fellow ambassadors, that's one way to say, hey, thank you so much for liking my post. I appreciate that support. And I have done that as well with people who like my post too. Erin, I love that. So you're saying some of them were follow-ups and some of them were cold messages. Is that kind of a mix of what it was?
Most were follow-ups. There were a few cold messages that maybe I talked to them before and they had said no or didn't respond, and I just kind of got the guts to do it again. So.
Oh, that's good. Good. You did it being nervous, and that's really where growth happens. I mean, personally and in your business. What's the worst that somebody is going to say? No thanks. That's it. So, yeah, awesome. Yes, Esther. No, for a lot of people is not, just means simply not right now, and that's why we just keep those friendships growing and building, because then they will more than likely come back to us when they are ready. So. We have 3 minutes left. I want to see if anybody has something that they want to share that's been on their heart, or something, just a success that they've had in the last few weeks. Anybody want to share something? Go ahead and unmute yourself. Or if you have a question for Janelle. Okay. No one? Okay. Jason keeps unmuting himself. Is that him or something? Does he have a question for you?
Me?
Yes. Go ahead, Jason.
No, I'm good. My phone was blank, but
Yes,
I will say, Hey, how you doing? I messaged a couple people this week, and I got like really 100% on like, hey, I want to check out the products, and I got one person who wants to join the chat. So sometimes just getting out there and saying hi and messaging someone and inviting them to the challenge, it really does it. Really inviting people to that 7-day challenge is a great way to get someone connected with Plexus. So that's it.
Yes. Oh, awesome. Yes. Yes. 7-day challenges are such a great way to ease someone into learning more about Plexus, where they're not being given a decision to be like, hey, do you want to buy right now? It's like, hey, do you want to test it out and learn at your own pace over 7 days? And I just have so many people that love that idea. It's non-threatening, and it's just a nice, it's a really nice way for them to get their foot in the door and to get just get a taste of the whole entire experience. So, okay, this was awesome. Thank you so much, guys, for coming on and taking time out of your evening. I know everyone has full schedules. I appreciate it. Your time is valuable. We appreciate you all for hopping on tonight. Thank you, Janelle, for sharing your story and some of the most important things that you do and you apply in your business with us. It's been awesome watching you grow your business and team. So thank you all tonight. We will see you all guys later. If you have any questions, reach out to us. Thank you. Good night.